Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum. Welcome to another video on Zatka e-invoicing. And today in this video, we are going to discuss techno-functional parts of this project. And this will be helpful for both IT as well as finance. Yes, it is. It looks simple, but it's really complicated. And to be honest, I don't know why government of KSA made it so complex. It should have been simple. There are so many steps, and ideally, at least for simplified, it should have been very, very straightforward, and there shouldn't be any complexity. Objective is to provide correct data to the Zatka, but it has too many signatures, XMLs, this and that, and most of the companies they thought it's very simple. They kept for the last day, and then they're on the last day, maybe a couple of weeks back, then they started working on it, and they found it very complicated. So let's see how it is. So Zatka instances. Zatka has three instances. The first one is a sandbox, which is available publicly to anyone who wants to develop a solution. They can use sandbox. But simulation and production, these both are only available to those who are having Zatka account, means they are registered companies with the tax authorities. Otherwise, you can't access the simulation, and production only is the sandbox. Sandbox is sort of test instance, you can call it, a development instance. Validation, reporting, things are same, but still security, that is not that much there in the simulation and production, because in sandbox they are using some standard username and passwords or keys, and everyone can use the same. Okay. If you see here on the left side, these are different APIs provided by Zatka, and they have a sequence. So let me take them as a sequence. So the first one is compliance CSID. This is like enrollment or onboarding process, where you get registered, you get exchange of certificates sort of, and you will get the username and password from Zatka, and then then further connectivity will be using these security protocols. After getting that username, password, certificates in this step one, then you can send data for compliance invoice API. This is, you will send an XML as per the format of Zatka, and that XML, it will be validated by the Zatka servers, right? And it will give you the response. If there's any error or whatever, it is cleared, reported, whatsoever. Production CSID API. After this, Zatka has major two categories of invoicing. You can see our reporting invoices. One is standard, and the other one is simplified. So in simple words, it's a B2B and B2C. In B2B, you have three documents: standard invoice, credit note, debit note, and same for simplified. Simplified is B2C, to the end customer. It's not company to company invoicing, right? Just like retail POS, where you are giving an invoice, or filling station, it's a simplified, right? So total there are 6 documents, standard and simplified. So to get this production CSID at compliance stage, you need to, let's say for example, for standard, you need to pass 3 documents: standard invoice, credit note, debit note. And if you are going to enroll with 6 documents, then you have to submit 6 documents. Once all 6 documents are compliance, then you will be able to get the production CSID. So this is a prereq, right? On sandbox, it's not required. You can proceed to the production as well, but for simulation and production, you have to pass 3 or 6 documents. Okay, once you will get the production, then you can get cleared. This is for B2B, but for B2C, which is simplified, that is only for reporting, both having their own criteria. So in simplified, you will not, you don't need to enter buyer or customer information, because it's a POS. Maybe you are doing POS and you don't have customer information, their VAT numbers, their details, their addresses, etc. Right? And one more thing, for simplified, you need to report invoices within 24 hours. But for clearance, for this B2B, you have 15 days. So this you need to keep in mind, because sometimes system can be down, or so for B2B you have 15 days, but for simplified 24 hours. Then there's an expiry date as well, so there's a renewal production CSID API as well. That's it. So these are the things. So if you total them, these are 6 APIs, because here I put 2 in one row, so it is showing like 5, but it's a 6 total. 6. Clearance is different, reporting is different. So if you see the phases and APIs, on the left side, I put the phases: creating CSR, generating OTP, etc., and invoices compliance, PCSID. This is production CSID, right? Clearance are reporting and renewal. So sandbox, all steps are there, and simulation all there, production all are there, right? So you have to keep these in mind. So sandbox, testing or development, you can call it. Simulation, you can call it pre-production. So but in simulation it will be just like same as production, but here these are not actually you are reporting or you are clearing any document. This is just for your final testing. Keep in mind, anything reported here is not reported, it's just testing. But when you are going to production, it is final reporting. Okay, if you see here, this is the first URL. So let me do this one. So this is for sandbox. This API link is for sandbox. And if you see here, it is showing here developer portal, right? This is for simulation, right? So when you will have the APIs, you will have to change this information in different phases. And this is called production core. This is your last and final live. When you will go live, you will use this one, core. Rest is same. If you see here on this side or this side, the URL is same. Okay, now another point is, normally companies say why it is difficult for the finance or sales team, challenge, what kind of challenges they might face, because we are having invoicing, so we can just go live. So normally the companies are not having this customer or buyer information updated in their systems, and in Zatka these things are getting validated as well, right? So let's say, for example, you need CRN. If a customer, your customer maybe is on expat or expatriate as export invoice, then you need CRN number. There are different further criteria over here as well, because you will not have VAT number for that customer, right? Buyer name, you will have it. Buyer's address state, you will not have it. Buyer address city, address country code, this will be same. So this information, if this is readily available in the correct format, then I think you can immediately go live without further delay. But if you will have to collect the customer's information, then it might take more time, because then it will become, instead of technically, it is more operational things, right? So this sort of information is required. So keep in mind as a data requirements, right? Okay. QR code specification phase 2. honestly, I will again say I don't know why this is very, very complicated. If I compare it with FBR in Pakistan, straightforward. You will get an ID number, sort of generated ID number, and you can report with that. Simple. Oh my God. In this, so many things are there. And many companies are using Oracle. They have their own limitations, versions, and so many things over there. Okay, QR code should be there, but these, at least for simplified, let's say, for example, you are reporting a 2 real or 5 real transaction where you have to do all these things, and those people who are working in Oracle, they will understand what I'm trying to say, because you need to be, everything is not available in Oracle. Let's say, for example, a few companies are using 11G, they are outdated. Even in 12C, things are not there. Even in 19, certain things are not there. So, I mean, there should have been consideration for, at least for simplified, that okay, let them just report so much encryption, so much validations, certifications. So at least personally, if you will ask me, I am bit upset with all these requirements. B2B still makes sense because there are huge amounts of invoices. So if you want for a code, you can just write to us, and we have the implementation experience. Uh, we know the challenges and how to handle those challenges in professional manners. Thank you very much, and Allah Hafiz.